the sight in the game can see the boxing voice.
September 1st, we're trying to be ready for anybody to have out there. And we came here tonight was just to make the statement that we hear through the grapevine that I'm tailor-made for Danny Garcia, words from his mouth.
Not the grapevine.
Are you scouting? Is that what you hear? You scouting?
Not the grapevine.
I scout everybody. I honestly do. I scout everybody. But yes, we're here tonight to scout the winner of Danny Garcia and Paulie Malignaggi. Obviously, we feel that, I feel that Danny being the younger, more vibrant fighter, he's going to win tonight. And, words out of his mouth, I want to answer those words. So.
Walk us through, Shawn. You have your dad who's a trainer. Right? He's raised you. So when he disciplines you, how do you separate a coach, fighter, and a father and son philosophy?
It's all the same. And I think it's all the same. From having him from day one, I can honestly say now, because you guys would ask me that question, I would always feel that there had to be a separation. There is no separation. Not here. Maybe some other father-son can make that happen, but not here. There is no separation. In the gym, the discipline is the same. At home, the discipline is the same. I understand what he wants, what he expects, vice versa, and that's how we move. So for a long time, I always thought there should have been a separation, but I'm understanding now. At 27, 26, 25, I was starting to understand that there is no need for a separation.
Shawn, Danny Garcia probably was never hotter or anything than after you beat Matisse. And of course, the last three fights lost a little bit of momentum. He's put it all off on trying to get down to 140.
Yeah.
Are you buying that? Those 7 pounds. How much difference could?
You know what? I'm not buying it, but I do understand that everyone doesn't do things the right way. The way we lose weight, the way we make weight, the way that we train. My understanding is the correct way to train as a professional fighter. And if he's blaming it on the weight, I'm saying you're doing it the wrong way. So you coming up to 147. I'm a 147-pound fighter. I'm the top in my division. You get past this guy who really isn't a 147-pound fighter, and then you come see me.
I don't think how much you've already beat Broner. So this Danny Garcia fight come to fruition and you beat him. Think that puts you in running for fight of the year?
Better. It better. I take it one fight at a time, as you guys know, but I never really thought about that until I heard my dad say it yesterday. And it's just how I am. When he says something, it becomes whatever he wants. It becomes what I want. But it's not. I don't want it just because he wants it. It just becomes a part of my heart. Simple as that. So after he said it yesterday, I was trying to figure out how can we fight September, then maybe once more, and get in that running. Get in that pole. That would be very cool.
I don't think so. But do you think that this is a cherry pick fight, like some of the buzz on the internet?
I don't know. Honestly, it's boxing. You guys know that anything can happen, So you look at a guy as if he's cherry picking, and then he gets hit, and you guys are surprised and all that. No, this is boxing. So,
Shawn, are you surprised that Malignaggi is back in the ring? Because he was basically retired after.
I knew he would come back. I didn't think he would come back against Danny Garcia. Someone so young and still at the top of what he's doing right now. So I was surprised at that, but it's what Paulie wants. Paulie wants to go out on the highest note. I don't expect if he does win tonight, I don't expect him to fight again.
Shawn, are you from Akron, Ohio?
I'm born in Cleveland. Moved around Northeast Ohio, but I live in Las Vegas.
Oh, okay. I'm from Warren, Ohio. Have you?
Yeah, I've been out there a few times.
Have you met up with LeBron at all?
No, never met LeBron. No, never met LeBron. We actually invited him to my last fight, but as you know, it was right there along with the finals. So, yeah, we said in the perfect world, he'd win the championship for us and then come out and support me. But we'll set up a meeting one day.
What's your weight, man? You look like you're in shape right now.
I'm not far off, man. I'm not far, but that's his fault.
Blaming on your dad.
And that's his fault, and then he put it off on him, so that's his fault. And so I got, my friends say, what are they doing to you? My mom just, what are they doing to you? They keeping me where I need to be.
Well, that was another reason why he was able to make the catchweight very easily against him, and you surprised him, So
he made that weight easier than he made any weight in his professional career.
I surprised myself.
Okay.
And it's really because you don't really balloon up in weight between fights, right?
No. He
the
stays.
The cool part is the day before the weigh-in, I'm laying down, just relaxing, laying down on my living room floor, and I'm smiling, just thinking about what I've done. You know what I mean? I make weight the day before the weigh-in.
Right.
Yeah.
How much do you want a rematch with Kell Brook? That's the only guy that you've lost to. He has a title. You have a title. Is that something you and the team are going to sit and think about? Maybe going to Europe for big money and a chance to get back, revenge against him?
You know what? We've moved on from that fight. Me personally, it's a fight that I will always want, just because, like you said, he's the only guy that beat me. I need to prove that, he beat me that night, but he'll never beat me again, But at the same time, looking at this business realistically, he's over in England. He's not saying my name. He's taking on English competition. I let him handle that. If I wake up and he's knocking on my door saying, "Hey, we're going to England in a month," we're going to England in a month. We no questions asked. This is not our problem. This is his problem. You make the fight, and we'll be there.
How hard was it for both of you guys to refocus after that loss and to come right back and perform the way he has?
I really don't think it was hard. We didn't have any problems in camp from that fight. We didn't have any times we argued or bickered or anything about anything that went on in that fight. We watched that fight. We corrected a lot of what was going on and continued to try to make everything right before each fight. So it wasn't hard for me.
Kenny, how did you keep from not having a title be a focus? You came right back and he performed really well, and then he did it against a late replacement.
I'm going to say, first of all, when you take that first loss, you got to let the guy, you got to let him figure it out. So I didn't discuss the fight with him. We didn't watch the fight. It was a number of weeks before it ever came back around. So I kind of let him deal with that his own way. And I think pretty much his own way, unfortunately for a lot of guys, they do a lot of destructive things after a fight. That's when guys become the most vulnerable. He didn't do that. He doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, doesn't party. He's not chasing girls. He's not gambling because so we didn't have those issues that a lot of people will have. So pretty much, I just kind of watched him maybe eat too many cookies or this is probably what was going on. Maybe he, went out to dinner too many times or something like that. But, at a certain point, because he's an athlete, he doesn't feel comfortable with himself in that situation. So I didn't have to really jump on him about that. So I kind of let him deal with it his own way. Yeah, I guess you could say that. So I let him deal with it his own way. And after that, when we got back started and we started doing it, to be honest with you, there can't be anyone more critical of him than me. So I go back and I watch the fight, and I just can't get the man the decision. I can't give the man the decision because here we are with boxing. It's called boxing. It's called prize fighting boxing. And I think in the first 7 rounds we were held 81 times. So there's no excuses to be made there. But in that particular situation, I can't jump on him about not being able to do things he was doing because the fouls that were created were not reprimanded by the referee. So in that sense, I'm like, I can't be like beating him down about something that's not happening. Okay, so moving forward, now what are we doing? The next fight and the one we just had against Bronner. We find ourselves preparing for people to hold us. We find ourselves preparing to get out of clinches and holds and breaks and things like that. Now, moving forward from this fight right here, he told me, well, I'm just too professional to do the things that they're doing. Well, Adrian Bronner is gloving him and pushing his head back and things like that. And he's not reacting to that in the way that I want him to react to that. And what I need in that particular sense, and I know I'm off the subject just a little bit here, but what I need in that particular sense is I need you to let that other guy know that you're not going to allow him to injure you, because you can be injured if the thumb goes in your eye. The guy hits you this way, and I slowed it down, and he hits you this way, and the thumb is right here by the eye. So if you get thumbed and you lose the fight because you can't see because of a foul that's not being stopped. So you can't allow that to happen. So, you know, to come full circle, we didn't really have a problem refocusing to get ready for the next fight. And the preparation from that fight and fights moving forward from that was not, oh, Shawn doesn't know how to jab, or Shawn doesn't know how to throw the punches correctly, or his feet aren't right. It's mainly how are these guys going to stop us, and this is what they're going to do to stop us. So we've got to figure out how to deal with that part of it. We did against Adrian Bronner, against Paulie Malignaggi, and also against Devin Alexander. We out-jabbed all of those guys. But it's disguised by you looking at our physical appearance or our physical movements. So moving forward, we didn't really have a problem refocusing at all. But a lot of the things that we're preparing for now are not necessarily the punches that the people are throwing at us. That's not really what we're preparing for. Although we have to prepare for that. And to go back to the Kell Brooks situation, immediately after the fight was over, we were dropped out of the top 20 of the IBF immediately, within 6 to 8 weeks. So obviously they didn't want us to have an opportunity to fight him. Since then, there was a title eliminator that he fought in. We weren't, you know, in the conversation of that. And then since then, he fought another guy. I guess one of them was a mandatory and one was a title eliminator, or however it went. And there's no talk of us now. So we're not going to chase the guy down. Obviously, over here where we're at, Adrian Bronner's name is bigger than his. Danny Garcia's name is bigger. The young man who just walked in the room, Keith Thurman, his name is bigger. So those are the people that we're looking at.
What I wanted to ask you,
yes.
You mentioned all those names, they're bigger than you guys.
Yeah.
But out of those guys that you just named, you guys may have had the better win so far this year. Because a lot of people say Keith Thurman struggled with Plazo, Khan struggled with Algieri, Garcia struggled with Peterson. How come your name hasn't been mentioned with them? Because of that statement win that you guys have.
That would be the particular reason why. When Floyd was asked if he would fight Shawn, his answer was no. That's exactly how it came out. He didn't say, oh, he's not a pay-per-view seller. He didn't say he, can't beat me, his skill level. Or, he said no, and then he tried to throw us off on some of the other guys. We have absolutely no problem with fighting that young man over there, especially if you're telling me that we're in a run-in for something real big this year. Yeah. None whatsoever. Him, a rematch with Adrian, Marcos Maidana, the other kid, Amir Khan, Danny Garcia. Those are all names, and we don't need a belt. We don't have to fight for the belt. We just need to fight the guys that have the name that come along with it.
And the status.
Yeah.
Going back to the fouling Adrian growing up.
Yeah.
Shawn, is he too much of a goody two-shoes?
I can answer that.
Because of the fact I'm saying, Shawn is not doing the same shit.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Right.
You're letting the dude foul.
Yeah.
This is the way we were taught.
Right.
You get a kidney shot. Boom.
Yeah.
You retaliate.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I think a lot of times I am too in control mentally, that when that stuff happens, I shrug it off. I put it off, and I say, get him back, but I get him back the right way. You know what I mean? But he's told me so many times it's boxing, but it's also a fight. You know, so I'm still learning how to separate myself from that professionalism of always, playing by the book.
Right, trying to stay professional and play by the rules.
Yeah, play by the book. And
you mentioned how you stay disciplined and staying in shape. And lately, you had a lot of guys having me fight certain fights. What is your opinion on that? How do you feel about that?
Whenever we get stuck. Do you understand about the you also like to weigh in the same way?
In a very special position, and he's still so what is your Has he technically announced his opponent yet? No, technically it hasn't been. Excuse me. The fight's weeks away because that puts stress under whoever he is fighting to stay ready, even though it's an unannounced event. You see what I'm saying? So he's using everything to his power, and he's making America watch what I call right now. It's called the money show. Let's watch Money spend his money on a Rolls Royce, on a Bentley. Let's watch Money go to the strip club. Let's watch Money walk around with a bag of money and go buy some shoes. Whatever he wants to do, America's going to watch. It's called the money show. So right now, at the end of his career, he's making more money than any fighter has ever thought was possible in the world of boxing. And to me, that is his goal. That's why he nicknamed himself Money. He's focused on the money, and he wants to make history. Not in the way I want to make history, not in the way that many fighters want to make history, but he wants to make history on numbers and numbers alone. So once again, enjoy the money show. I wouldn't pay for the next fight, but that's on you.
What's your opinion on that?
I have a mixed view with the Berto fight. I understand a lot of people say Berto doesn't deserve the fight, but I remember once upon a time when Berto was one fight away from a Floyd Mayweather fight. And it dates back all the way back to when Andre Berto, see, Berto's a dear friend of mine. I dedicate a portion of my skills and my talent to sparring with Andre Berto when I was 14, 15, 16 years old. He has helped me be the fighter that I am today. So I have great respect for Andre Berto. And I remember when Berto was supposed to fight Sugar Shane Mosley, and then the earthquake happened in Haiti, and he canceled the fight so that he can go help his people in Haiti, which was a great thing to do as a human being, but not a great thing to do as a business, from a business standpoint. And he had the Victor Ortiz fight. Victor Ortiz beats Berto, and then what happens to Victor Ortiz? He gets a Floyd Mayweather fight. Berto makes a comeback, beats Zavit, he gets a world title. Then Berto fights Robert Guerrero. Robert Guerrero beats Berto, and what happens to Robert Guerrero?